on Ind-Swift. They're looking to upgrade their Jammu facility. So let's chat a little bit more about that. We've got Sahil Munjal, the MD, joining in on the show right now. Sahil, hi, morning. Welcome to ET Now. Sahil, you've raised both the capex and the revenue target for, this leg of the Jammu upgrade since the disclosure in Feb. Tell me what has changed since then.
Well, we are focusing more towards the export market, and initially there were a few of the exports which are happening from the Jammu, but then now is the time that we are trying to cater it to take it towards the PICS and the more regulated markets. So that's what we are gearing up for, and the projects are already, finalized, freezed, and we're just waiting for the expansions to start.
When you have that EU GMP approval as well as PICS approval, which is targeted early 2028, right?
Yeah.
What are the countries that you will first target to start off with?
To start off with, it's going to be starting with the Europe, and then we take it to all the other regulated markets, including Australia, maybe Canada, and Latin.
Right. The other thing I wanted to understand also, Sahil, was that, what happens while this transition phase is on? And during this transition, while the upgrade happens, is there any disruption to existing supply that you foresee?
Well, I don't think so, because the operations are already ongoing, and we are already catering to the domestic market. So the manufacturing is going to be continuing while the upgrade happens. So it's going to be phased manner. We take in slowly and gradually, and they just targeting to have the same amount of EBITDA margins which are currently there. We stick to that, and we continue with our expansions.
So does meaningful revenue kick in FY27? You've guided for 50% growth, or FY28? When should we start to see revenue really start to kick through?
We are targeting to start off from FY27.
Okay.
The aim is to get our very first inspection done by Q1 or Q2 27. And once that happens, we can immediately start off by submitting the dossiers, and in 6 to 8 months' time, we can start generating revenues from there.
Right.
Okay.
The other thing also is this 100 crore rupee in additional revenue. That's going to support both your CDMO as well as own brand businesses, right? How do you expect that revenue to split between the two once it materializes?
Well, the existing Laboratories facility, which is already EU PICS approved, and we're already catering to all across all the globe, barring US. So the aim is that we shift half of the portion, or a portion of the volumes from this site, and take it to Jammu site, and gradually leverage the facility which get free here to increase more volumes and more business.
Sahil, I'm curious to know. So you do 50% growth FY27. You've guided for a medium-term growth clip of around 20 to 25%. And your Jammu facility, if I've understood it right, give us a perspective, comes meaningfully on stream FY30. Growth should be extremely strong.
It is going to be starting off FY28.
Okay, FY28.
Yeah.
And so then growth should be coming at a far faster clip, right? Even on the higher base. Why then guide for 2025?
I don't want to overcommit anything, so that's why we're taking it slowly and gradually.
But it's realistic to expect growth to be well ahead of your guidance of 20 to 25%, I would suppose.
Well, you can say so, but as I said, we want to be more conservative than being aggressive.
Okay. And what will the triggers be in terms of markets? You've spoken about Europe in particular, in general, but could you mark out countries that you're targeting, and how are you targeting them? How are you going to go granular and sell your product?
When we talk about Jammu, so Jammu has two facilities. One is for the tablets, so which is an incremental to the existing volumes what we have in Laboratories. And also it has additional capacity for ointments. Ointment is a new therapy area where we are focusing to have a large basket of molecules which are going to be then taking for the other all the export markets. As of now, ointments are not there available with us for the exports. So that is where we feel that we are going to be able to leverage more in terms of advancing towards the exports revenue.
Margin profile exactly pan out? Because you are anticipating that export gross margins are around 55% already.
Yes.
Right. So how should one expect the trajectory to be after EU GMP capability gets added?
Well, as I told you that the volumes are going to go up, and as well as we have new pipeline for the molecules which are going to be added, which is approximately 25 to 30 molecules we are targeting, for which the R&D activity has already started off. It's already kicked off. So by the time the facility is going to be ready and approved by the authorities, we start off immediately for commercializing those molecules and start filing the doses for them.
Sahil, so therefore, as the top line scales, you've done around 17.5% margin, if I've understood this right, Q1.
Yeah.
Does it only get better from here? Is 20%, which you've done in the past, something that will become easily achievable as early as FY27 or FY28?
See, normally our business scenario is like we first finalize the projects, and these projects are long-term projects, and then we go ahead for the execution part. So that's why we are confident that whatever percentages margins that we are currently catering to, it's all just going to go improving further rather than going anywhere else.
But so you hit 20 by end of FY27?
Sorry?
If I can push you for a number, Sahil, so you hit 20% by end of FY27?
Fingers crossed.
Okay.
That's all I would say.
And how much higher can it go? The realistic number would be 25, would it be 30? What should that number be? What should the working number be?
Let's be realistic about it. Let's be realistic about it. As I told you earlier, that we want to be conservative about it. And once we achieve our existing set of numbers for this year, we will revisit the numbers and come back again with the new numbers, probably next year.
Okay. Okay, we'll wait that out. Sahil, thank you so much for joining us and giving us that perspective.
Thank you.
Thanks.